question, because I think you need to be aligned and that's a bit what I heard from all of you, that as founders, you talked about it and you had an alignment of what you want to do. I think that's super critical. You need to be aligned on what it's going to do to your company. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm saying a bit like VC expects this and this. They're not bad people, right? It's just their business model. That's what they need you to do. And I think especially if you have tech co-founders, that can be really stressful for them, because a lot of the re-platforming, for example, that needs to be done at certain points, just it cannot be done in weeks. It probably can be done in a couple of months. And that's not in line with the revenue targets that you have. And this sort of internal pressure of what to prioritize and how to get there without handcuffing certain people in the company in their roles so they cannot do anything anymore is extremely difficult to manage, even if you're very aligned on it. And I think every company has a bit different ways of going about that and solving that. But I think that's just, VC money just makes sure that revenue growth is the number one thing, and it forces everything to be hyper optimized and reduced and done faster sometimes to a point where it's really healthy and good because you're doing things in a better way, and sometimes to a point where it's super stressful on people. And I think you just need a very healthy mechanism in place as management and found a team to talk about it and figure it out. So I said it in the different webinar once, coaching. I think management coaching or individual coaching is awesome to make sure that you stay aligned. Make room every 3 to 4 months to do a retreat and talk about where you are, think about how to get the next steps done and these sort of things, and then head down, work, and then 3 months later do it again, right? I think you need to do that, especially in a VC environment. In a bootstrapped environment, I think it's, at least in my experience, and people might see it differently, but in my experience, it's much more being able to live with this tension of we could do so much more if we just had a little bit more money, like always figuring out how to get the most out of this extra franc that you have. I mean, also now at Holycode, there's at least 10 projects I'd love to do right now, and it pisses me off every day that we cannot, but we made the decision not to take in any external money. So yeah, make the best out of it, right? And yeah, both sides have disadvantages, obviously, as well.
Yeah, of course it changed. I mean, for us, being bootstrapped also meant reinvesting the money into the company. So actually, we were not paying ourselves salary. And the first salary we paid was for our first employees. So we were not paying ourselves until then. Really, we had a secured funding. Let's put it that way. And then I think that's actually on what Nicolas said. It's also being able to hire talent. We're still paying low salaries. We're still a first round. So. But being able to hire talent and also get some projects done which we just did not have the resources. And that changed a lot. And being able to invest in acquisition, so in performance marketing, try new things, also have some testing budget also to see how you can attract more customer, be more efficient, invest in tech, and so on. Yeah.
I completely agree that hiring the right people is extremely difficult, but it's so important to get it right. And also that some people just don't, as you said, it's a pity, but not everybody is able to grow to the next level in time. Doesn't matter how much coaching you give them, right? And that I would say when VC money comes in, that becomes obvious quite quickly, because they have a certain understanding and expectation towards the professionalism and the quality of decision making and certain areas that need to work. And they'll open your eyes quite quickly for areas where that might not be the case in their opinion. And that's very difficult. Sometimes you have to have talks where people need to step back a bit because they're not capable of fulfilling this role. Some people are amazing at reflecting about it and figuring out that's maybe better for them to learn from someone. Others don't, and then they leave the company, and that's also problematic. But yeah, I mean, money doesn't solve your problems. It accelerates certain areas of your company, and it creates a lot of new problems that you need to be able to solve. So it puts more pressure on a healthy leadership team, and having a healthy leadership team and having a healthy way of a healthy culture, probably how you solve issues together, how you get to the root cause of things. I think it's just petrol basically that you throw on a fire. If If you have a big fire in the company because you're not managing culture and leadership right, it will burn very quickly. And if you have a good space and the flame is really small, you might get a wedge as well. So, yeah.